Hello, dear audience. I am your presenter, Sirra Chorr. This is Generation Next, a youth movement platform geared towards inspiring, motivating, and directing young people's participation towards responsibilities in the developing society. It is a fortnight when we continue the inspiration, the motivation. This is the after program. We were fortunate today to have Dr. Ismaila Baji, the CEO of Innovax Global. It has been an insightful story to hear Dr. Baji's background. Of course, we felt that it's imperative that we engage young people who understand that life itself is a challenge. Regardless of that challenge, they're forging every day to make sure that that does not limit them. You young person out there, yes, it's true, sometimes we like to compare. Well, you might be quick to say, of course, this guy has got this opportunity. This lady has been blessed with some fortune. Of course, it's obvious that they make it in life. But we should not limit ourselves to that. Remember, we are gifted in our various ways. Regardless of where you may find yourself, that should never limit you. Of course, I was a bit emotional when a question came in and it talked about what advice do you have for someone who has no faith or who has lost hope in life? Not faith, but who has lost hope in life. And I was really happy when Ismaila answered that. Of course, if you want to get the full answer to that, you know where to get it. Get to our Facebook page where you will get the full story on Generation Next, right? So he mentioned having faith. What is faith? Faith is the ability to see the invisible, to trust in the impossible, and to believe in the unknown. So we must therefore have faith. Spiritually, we have to be strong and make sure that we always look at the positive side to life. Because if we dwell so much on the negative side, it destroys us, it damages us internally. So please, let's motivate ourselves. Yes, the system, like I questioned doctor, the system may be there, but we may not have the right people in the system. But should we use that as an example? How can you develop yourself to be better? Always question yourself in that regard. Well, therefore, today I have another colleague whom I would also love to give her narration because she has been vividly following doctor's insight to also give us what she makes of the program today. You may introduce yourself, Betty Dalit. Go ahead.
Hi everyone, my name is Betty Cham, and as Sirra mentioned, I am her work colleague who has been very curious about Generation Next. And just a few days ago, I told her, I don't know why, but I just want to come today, and I just want to come this Saturday and just watch you guys, just see what happens in the Generation Next. And she just mentioned that it was Dr. Ismail that she's actually having on the show, which I've even felt more honorable to attend to come today. So I mean, I felt more honored to actually be here today, and it was a nice interview. It was just being here and listening to him talk about his life experience and giving advice to the younger generation. It was nice being able to experience it firsthand. And I believe one of the biggest takes I actually took from this interview was when he said, "What we do as a living is not who we are as a human being." I think Dr. Ismaila should trademark that. He definitely should trademark that, because it is the first time I'm actually hearing someone say this, and it's actually a relief hearing him say it, because I felt I felt like I could relate to what he's to those particular words, because I've been having this discussion with Sirra at work about struggling with finding the career path, and like for me, being someone who actually did IT in university and now I'm in customer service, I always have that conflict every day. Like, am I actually doing what I'm supposed to do? Why am I in customer service when I did IT? Like, someone would actually look at my resume and be like, what is she doing in customer service when, they're expecting me to be in a higher position or being behind computers by now? And right now I'm more at peace with what I'm doing, because now I don't just see it as a career, because now I actually appreciate my job more. And maybe it's just maturity, but just being in that level where you actually appreciate what you're doing, which he also mentioned, is actually a nice thing. And and the advice that he actually gave to young people, that you don't have to limit yourself just because this is what you studied in school. That's what you have to do as a career. That's one of the best advices one can give in for this current generation. So yeah, I can actually sit here and talk more and more about the interview, but just within this short time that I have to share my opinions, like, this is one of the biggest things that I can actually share. And I wish we could have like a whole 1 hour podcast just reviewing this interview. But yeah, this is within this short time, this is what I can actually share with the audience, people, Gambian citizens on this show, to actually just to share just to share their life experiences, and also advise the younger generation, because the generation that our parents, the advice that our parents had in their generation, I don't think it's applicable now.
Right.
Because those days, that's what you're told, go to school and do this, and then that's it. And the part where he said to nurture our curiosities, that's one of the biggest blessings anyone can have. Just being curious about stuff, and being determined to actually learn more about things is actually a blessing. So yeah.
Research has it that our viewing content can influence our thinking, our political preference, and our cognitive attributes. Let's take that approach. Like I've said, therefore, it's important that we understand what we watch, or we scrutinize the amount of time we spend watching who we watch, what we watch, and what impact it does. Because at the end of the day, like I mentioned, it shapes your thinking. Well, I am happy today, of course, that yeah, you see the smile? That is the smile I always get at work. So it's we are happy that we've got a newest member to the Generation Next team.
Who happened to join so randomly. I mean, if someone was to tell me that I'll be here today, sitting there, listening to you guys, actually,
You wouldn't believe it.
I would not believe it.
Right.
What is nice that I'm actually I'm being accepted as a new member of the Generation Next. Who would have thought?
Of course, who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Who would have
I was
thought
full
Betty of all people?
expectations. Me of all people, I was standing here trying to calm Sirra's nerves down. In fact, I should be the one nervous, but I'm the one that is calming you down. So life is full of surprises, I guess.
Obviously.
It's
So
full of
we are very,
surprises.
very happy, Betty, that you have joined our beautiful limited, not limited, but small family, because we are a small family, or should I say big family, because everybody who is watching is also part of the Generation Next team. But of course, to have you formally to be part of Generation Next team, it is a blessing for the entire Generation Next team. And I'm sure young people, we would have a lot to expect from Betty, because she is a woman with full of ideas. Yes. We would get to see more of her face. Well, it is a reality. We will get to see more of her face, inshallah, hopefully. Most likely we'll be seeing her on Generation Next. And then perhaps I can relax and let's have her share her. Like I said, she's got so many things in her head. So we will let her be doing most of
the thinking. I'm more like your idea pod.
Right. Obviously.
It's a role I've accepted.
Obviously. Yeah. So anything you may want to add?
So far it's just the beginning, so I don't have much to share.
Right.
So let's see what happens along the way.
Inshallah, inshallah.
I'm anticipating a lot of whatever we have here,
Right.
and I just pray that it will grow bigger and bigger, be it audience wise, or have one day Muhammad in his little office one day being the CEO, and then of course there is Sirra
Yeah.
being the whatever it is that you're good at, because she's good at many things anyway. So you just you never know you'll surprise us. So
Obviously. Right.
yeah, I'm optimistic.
Well, thank you so much goes to Dr. Ismaila Baji. It warranted us actually, you know, beautiful, beautiful. And if you want to get the full story shared by Dr. Ismaila Baji, kindly get to our Facebook or various Facebook platforms. Facebook, you can search for Generation Next. On Instagram, you can search for Generation Next. On LinkedIn, on YouTube, of course, you can search for Generation Next. And we are planning on expanding to other platforms. We are also on TikTok as well. I'm sure when you do that, you would get to hear the full narration shared by Dr. Ismaila Baji. Please also continue to share in your comment. Like I always say, we all want to grow, and in the journey to becoming to growing, it's important that we hear your ideas, we hear your feedbacks, we hear your reviews, of course, because then we're able to know where we are not doing so great, and we can improve to be better and better. I hope we'll get your feedback, comments, and also please subscribe. If you're on YouTube, you search for Generation Next, please subscribe, because when you do so, at least the story might not be able to resonate with you per se, but probably others may need it, may need the story for in order to help them becoming a better person. So please share. At least that is the best you could do from your end. And until we come your way again, Mohammed, thank you so much for always being there and making me do the impossible. It's a bye from the entire Generation Next team, and thank you so much for following us always. So we're gonna sign out, Betty and myself, gonna say bye.